stay safe, gentlemen. Take care of your family and the people that surround you. It's very important. We're in a network for a reason. And the opinions of others, it not only makes who you are, but it makes a lot of big part of you. Who you are in the public eye, also who you are in the private eyes. When the doors are shut and no one's looking, Christmas time is coming up. Christmas doesn't feel Christmas anymore. I don't know about you, but from personal experience, we celebrated Christmas in September. All these things that we grew up on, a lot of kids are having tablets nowadays at the age of 3. My son, who's 1, he's turning 2 next year, but it's his second Christmas this year. His uncle and his auntie they said they're gonna get him an iPad for Christmas. Whew. I'm not ready for that. The kid watches a good fair amount of TV. He has a few good fair amount of rotation. Yes, he watches Disney, a little bit of HBO Max. I know they have SpongeBob on HBO Max. But I wanted to talk to you today about Christmas. I know a lot of people don't do well in the Christmas. I think it was 2014 when the school shooting happened in, I'm not sure if it's Washington, somewhere close. Something the same happened close to Christmas here in Salt Lake as well. A high school, junior high school shooting. Now, a lot of parents, lost some kids. I applied for it's been hard getting a job, especially towards Christmas times. I've been holiday installing. I've been working at the vacant factory, doing whatever I can, cutting metals, doing whatever I can just to get by. And that's one of the things that I wanted to talk about as well. The struggles of finding a job in America when you have all these options. Unemployment is not big in America. So when you have all these options, kind of like, all these Nelk Boys podcasts, talking about dating advice and relationship and whatnot. They talk about how hard it is to be in a relationship because of social media and how everything is one touch of a button. Now, I don't have a problem with that shit. Because I'm not who I am in social media versus in real life. I understand that there's boundaries and there's certain things that I wouldn't share here, necessarily on the platform, but I would in closed doors. And who you are matters on private doors as well. The things that I see in these influencers when they do a fucking documentary and they do that close-up shot with the music and they tell their parents how much they mean to them. It's obviously a beautiful thing between a parent and a kid, but shouldn't be that done in a private room. But social media has got us fooled, man. It's hard to appreciate the job. It's hard to appreciate what you have when you're watching all these people. You could be a fucking construction worker making $78,000 a year, and then you see some dipshit, 23-year-old, going around the world traveling, fucking working 3 hours a day on his e-commerce business, quote unquote. It's bullshit. So social media has got us fooled. I've moved a lot as a kid. When my mother moved to the States, I went to a lot of schools. I went to a Christian school, and then I gained a lot of weight. Started off as a skinny kid. My rib cage was showing, and I thought I had six-pack back then, 6 years old. And then I started eating, and getting into girls. Started looking at my body, I was the only child, and I didn't have to deal with competition. I didn't have to deal with sharing. My brothers and I have 4 brothers on my mom's side, and my dad's side I have 2 siblings. I have a sister and a brother. But my dad reached out to me in COVID years 2020. I just started dating my wife, hit it off. I trapped her. That's the joke. Sorry, I'm not very funny in this podcast. I don't know what I'm trying to accomplish yet, but definitely sharing holiday times, sitting in the fire, wherever you are. I'm gonna have a good amount of compilation here, and hopefully it lasts past holiday, in spring, in summer, and it's just a good snapshot of where we were. But get out there. If you have a party to go to, you always have somebody inviting you, even if you're 9,000 miles away from home, whether it's a coworker, somebody you meet this weekend, they're inviting you for Christmas, and it's up to you. It's your duty to step out of your bubble and share that magical times, because you're not special, bro. That's the relief in my favorite line. It's a little harsh. I say that to my mother-in-law. I say that to my mom. I say that to my wife, people that I love. But I say, because I'm a family man and I have a lot of pride, and I know when it's about you, and I know when it's about others, and I know when it's about me. And I know that we all could be a little selfish, and we just need our turn to talk. And sometimes it's hard. I'm working on that. I get a lot of arguments, fight with my wife, because I don't have the proper social skills or intelligence into keeping the retention and the rhythm going and staying on the topic. I have to fucking bring up the past and the future, whatnot. A family member into it, and it's a little chaos in the house. But another thing, I've been jobless this past 8 months. It's been hard, but one thing I'm grateful for is we still have a car, and we're not dealing with eviction. I know I have a debt and I'm grateful for still having my mom, still having my family. I have my mom here. My Filipino is getting a little bit rubbish, a little bit dull. Kind of like what's that fucking tiger's name from Ice Age? Diego. Little good old Diego. My son loves Ice Age. That's another thing he watches. He watches Super Mario Bros. Secret Lives of Pet. He watches the 3D SpongeBob movies. But I'm grateful. I still have my son, still have my wife, and I live with my family members. Just like when you're a kid. And get out there, man. And share what you have. bring your family with you, bring your kid around with you. Obviously, shit, that would be funny if you just but obviously, there's it's a very common thing where when your parents leave in the Philippines or abroad to work in another country, it's very common to not celebrate Christmas with your family. So if you are celebrating Christmas with your family this year, no matter how hard the fall off is, just for one day, for 24 hours, make that peace, let go of that pain. For those 24 hours, it's gonna be the most hardest 24 hours in your life. Some people don't make it throughout Christmas. Some people off themselves before midnight or some shit, before Christmas does. I know I lost a friend very recently, 3 days after New Year, a few days before my gender reveal. We found out we were having a boy. I got a text from my mom saying, at first I thought it was a close family member, and I was very confused. And I read the text twice, and obviously, it's someone else, and who I was very close with, very tight with. When rest in peace. It was one of my very close friends growing up. This motherfucker thinks he's half and half. He's half white, half American. In his defense, that's why he called himself. He's half American, half Filipino. I don't know if he's born here or I think he was born here, but both of his parents are Filipino. So, but I thought it was funny. I didn't like sneaking out as a kid. I don't like breaking trust, but I grew up with a lot of pride, and I grew up in a single mom. And sometimes, when you grow up with a strict parent, my mom didn't like me going outside because mosquito and shit. My mom had one of those mosquito-free blankets. It didn't protect us from the robber. Took our fucking DVD and my only CD that I watched. I only had one movie watching growing up, but it was Spider-Man 2002, Sammy Raimi, with Tobey Maguire. Apart from that, I like Mr. Bean growing up, and Little Chicken. There's not a lot of that's a classic one. There's not a lot of classic movies growing up. I like what my cousins like and my friends like. I'm a family man. I'm a group man. So I find it a lot harder to sometimes enjoy the things that you used to enjoy with your cousins or your girlfriend at the time, or your parents was not here anymore, and you can't enjoy the things that you used to do alone by yourself. It almost has like they have to be there to complete the experience. But that's just me. I found that out when I started listening to rap, and I got hooked into rap, and right now I'm listening to oldies, but I've been listening to Joey Diaz, Theo Von. Been a fan of him for a few years, 5 years now actually. Started listening to him when I was 19 and getting my grind up and everything. But God bless you, man. If you're having Christmas with your family this year, tell them I'm sorry
and move on. The next day is very, very hard. The after, and then plus you have New Year's, and then the next New Year. But everybody gets hungover in New Year's. That's no problem. But Christmas time is a lot of pressure, especially with the holiday spirit, everything being lit up, everybody, you're being reminded that everybody's with their family, and then you're spending time with your friends. Maybe I spent time with my friends a lot when I got kicked out at 19. A week before my birthday, my 19th birthday, I got kicked out. My car was repossessed. I quit my job. I worked at this warehouse from 4 to 3 a.m. and then we would get IHOP. The kids that I spent holidays with, his dad worked in Granite, and I was in the bathroom one time, senior high school. I was, flexing my restaurant money. It was my first job. I cashed out all my check because I didn't keep a bank account. I wasn't 18 yet. I had to have my parents' permission to open up a bank account. So I kept everything in. I checked and I cashed it in the bank. So one time I was in the bathroom and this fool walked in. Okay, we'll call him AJ, AJ on the beat. He saw me flex that money and got interested. What I do, maybe I sell, maybe I'm a plug, who knows. But that's our friendship, and I spent a lot of time going to Idaho with him. It's a 6-hour drive. Sometimes his brother, he got a lot of he has an 8-year-old now, I think, but he has a lot of fuss with his fiance back then, his wife at the time, and we would go for whatever reason, we would just go to Idaho and fucking get Jack in the Box tacos, late night snack. Those are always the best. And underage drinking, trying to cook smoking nowadays. But that's all I have for you guys. I hope you enjoy this podcast. I know it's a little bit shorter, but Merry Christmas. Stay safe, boys.